Wax on, wax off. Karate Kid Legends. My out of theater reaction is already up. You can review is out. You can see that. But here's the full review. As I said at the beginning of that video, my relationship with the Karate Kid movies is hit and miss. Mostly because I haven't really seen all of them in their entirety. I've seen the first one. I like the first one. Good bit of it. It's very 80s. Feels very 80s, but it's a good movie. I like the first one. Then there's a second one, which I really haven't seen in its entirety, bits and pieces. Same with the third one. And then I did see the fourth one by, at least, if nothing else, through osmosis, thanks to Nostalgia Critic. But I do think I saw it at one point. And I did see after the theater, after it was in theaters, the Jackie Chan, Jaden Smith one, and that's good. I like that one. So I have, and I've never watched Cobra Kai, so I have a bit of a wishy-washy history with this franchise. I don't hate it, don't love it, I like it. So what do I think of this one? Well, I'll say what I said from my Out of the Theater review yesterday in more in depth. I like the movie. I'll go so far as to say I think the movie is a good-ish movie. It's better than me saying I like it, but it's not as good as me saying it's a really good movie. No, it's good. It's entertaining. I'd recommend it if anyone's interested. But for all the good that's in this movie, it's like for every good thing, this is why I do both a out of the theater review and a full review, because once I have time to process it, and God, I got like an itch in my nose. Once I have time to process it, I start to think of more things that either I liked or didn't like about the movie. In this case, more flaws showed up. So the story is legitimately the same story you get in every Karate Kid movie. It's just we've now inverted it, whereas the Chinese family moving to America. Okay, it's versus Ralph Macchio moving from Jersey to California. Then you get Jaden Smith moving from America to China. And then you get Lee and his mom moving from China, Beijing, to New York. It's just the same formula again and again and again. But regardless, and he has a history. The brothers passed away. This isn't a spoiler. This is pretty much all but implied, or all but said in the trailers. By the way, I might give a minor spoiler away here or there, but nothing too concrete. There's really not much to spoil in this movie, to be fair. I mean, there is, but nothing that would actually detract your enjoyment per se. Or detract from like, oh my God, no, nothing like that. And, he tries to fit in, promises not to fight. He meets this girl, they hit it up. She's got a crazy ex-boyfriend who's your Cobra Kai. Oh God, I can't remember the actor's name from Cobra Kai, but him, Johnny, sweep the leg, Johnny. And now it's like, he happens to be a martial artist. He trains at this Psycho Dojo, and so he's got to go enter the big martial arts tournament to win the money to save Grandma's house. Not really, but kind of. To save her dad's shop, and, it's also doing it for himself. Along the way, they get Daniel-san and Master Han in there. It is paint by numbers in many ways. But I'll give them this. First and foremost, they opened up with a scene more or less from the original movie, at least from what I remember, but I think it might have been like AI'd or something. They may have just used some trickery or likeness or voice imitation, because I don't think it's a legit scene. Or if it was something that was like never... I can't remember exactly how the scene worked. Regardless, they do tie why Miyagi and Mr. Han know each other, why they are how Han actually comes into the movie, how Daniel comes into the movie, because Han is there at the beginning. He's there at the beginning. He's his uncle, Lee's uncle. So I do like the fact they did tie that together. I'll also say this. They actually did attempt to do things a little differently. There's a point where her dad, who's my favorite, the girl's dad, who played by Joshua Jackson, who, bar none, is my favorite character in the movie. He's my favorite character in the movie. He's a former boxer, and he's got a match, and to try to get money for the shop and to pay off the debt. And the Karate Kid himself, Lee, actually trains him. And then it leads them trying to try to do something better, try to pass it along, so forth and so on. That's a nice twist on the story, that the Karate Kid themselves actually is going to teach someone else karate, be a shifu, a sensei to them. And the fact that he's like a guy in his 40s, I think is pretty hilarious. So I like that as well. I'll say this, all the acting is fine. Not amazing, but fine. This kid, Ben Wang, or Ben Wang, this guy's got star potential right at the gate. He did all of his own martial arts, which is quite a bit. Like he was doing some early Jackie Chan stuff there too. He's likable, he's charismatic. I did like his chemistry with Sadie Stanley, who played Mia, his love interest. I liked her for what it was, some things notwithstanding, but I chalked it up to plot. All the fight choreography is great. Daniel's great Ralph Macchio's solid when we see him come in. By the way, him and Ming-Na Wen. I think Ming-Na Wen is in her. I know Ralph Macchio just like is around 60. Ming-Na Wen is 61. God damn, is she a fine 61? Holy crap! Look, I'm 35. I'm pretty sure she's married too, and I'm in a relationship. But I'm just saying, if I were single, we were both single, and we met up. I'm not saying I'm against being a boy toy. Just say, but again, yeah, Ralph Macchio, I believe, hold on, he's 63. He's older than her. He doesn't even look like he's in his 50s yet. It's the Tom Cruise effect. What the hell? Like, seriously. Like, what are they smoking up in Hollywood to be able to money? That's what they're smoking. That's the secret of youth, folks. Money. But seriously, it was good. It was cool to see him and Jackie Chan actually do a little like choreography with each other. Obviously, in truth, Jackie Chan would still, in an actual fight, kick his ass. Even at, I think Jackie's now in his 70s, late 60s, early 70s, 71. Even at 71, Jackie would kick his ass. Like, I wouldn't fuck with Jackie Chan at 71. I wouldn't fuck with Jackie Chan at 100. Are you kidding me? Because at that point, he's literally like one touch burst your heart level of, martial artists. So yeah, I liked most of the people in here. I liked the choreography. I liked they did at least attempt to try some new stuff with the story. That all being said, this movie is littered with problems. Right out the gate, it's some basic ass dialogue at many points. Sometimes it's not above grade school. Like a high school special is what I mean. Not grade school, but high school. It's not above like a high school special. And even high school specials, like Boy Meets World, had better writing, I think, than this did. Because those types of shows actually did explain some shit. This leaves a lot to be desired. Case in point, our villains. Our Cobra Kai, if you will, for this movie. I don't remember the name of the gym or the dojo it's called, but you have Aramis Knight, who's essentially your Johnny in this, but more like a version of Johnny mixed with that psycho kid from the Jaden Smith one, who's just like completely just like literally is like psycho. Is like, I'm going to kill you, man. I'm gonna cut you up so bad. This isn't run around in skeleton costumes and beat people up. No, this guy needs to be locked up. Like this dude is like a psychopath for legitimately no reason. Like there's no, hey, home life is tough, or hey, he's insecure about himself, or hey, he just needs to prove himself. No, he's just a psychotic asshole. There's like one 3-second moment where his sensei tells him, I don't train you to fight, I train you to kill. And you see the look on his face briefly until he just goes like, yeah! But why? Which leads me to the other problem here. The other movies at least had a memorable asshole for the teacher. Like, and he at least always tried to almost fight Mr. Han or Mr. Miyagi. I mean, you have the original guy whose name I don't remember from Cobra Kai. Like, it's like, you're pushing the little guy. But I like that. And then you got the other psychotic douchebag from the second one who was like, I think, a former student of Miyagi, I think. And then they team up in the third one. And then you get freaking Michael Ironside in the fourth one. And then at least you get the other guy, don't even know the other guy in the Jackie Chan one, who's at least douchebaggy. Like, he's at least, you can kind of buy the rivalry with him and Han a little bit. Here, not only is this guy barely a factor in the movie. Like, barely a factor. He's honestly, there's no logic to why he's doing what he's doing. Okay, so the girl's dad, Victor, played by Joshua Jackson. Again, my favorite character in the movie. Loved him. He's just got this cool, genuine attitude about it. But he's a New Yorker, heart through and through. But the character, maybe not Jackson. I don't know if Jackson's a New Yorker or not. So, okay, he's got to earn money. There's this big tournament, big boxing match. If he wins, he can pay off the debt he owes the guys at the gym. He can stay at the restaurant and maybe have a little left over for college, as he puts it. Great, wonderful. Okay, Lee trains him, great. And so this guy's like, I'm betting against you. He's like, I wouldn't do that. And so the fight happens. He's starting to lose. Now he's starting to win. Yeah, awesome. So what does this guy do? He says, yeah, crush him. Literally put him in the hospital. Hold on, what? And so the guy, it's a boxing match too. So this guy basically, puts him in the hospital. And I'm watching this thinking several things. One, that's an automatic disqualification. Like, you straight out just cheated no matter what. This isn't a martial arts tournament where you could have maybe got away with some of that, maybe. No, the ref told you to stop. You disqualified yourself, which means you don't get your money back on that investment regardless. Even if the match is called, it's just called and no one's declared the winner, you lost money on that regardless, you jackass. So, not only did you screw yourself out of money, you screwed yourself out of more money because he would have paid you back. Even if you won, the fact that you bet against him, all that meant was you were an asshole and an idiot. All this came down to was petty bullshit. And at this point, it's like, you don't even care about the money, do you? You're just a jackass. I'm like, there's no logic whatsoever to that scene. None whatsoever. Because he just screwed himself out of a bunch of money by betting against him. And getting against him, and he screwed himself out of getting at least some money back by not letting the match finish. So this guy makes no sense, and all you see is him go like I disappear. It's like there's no confrontation, nothing. It's bullshit. And speaking of bullshit, they give this girl this what's her name, Mia? Yeah, they give Mia this backstory of dating the asshole. And at one point, we see her smiling and laughing with him at an event or something like that, not a parade, or kind of like a fair thing. And she, Han and Lee's rightfully just upset about it. It's like, what's going on? I saw you out there. It's like, is that what this is about? Yeah, no, I get it. Actually, I don't get it. And she tries to explain it. That same mistake you keep making over and over again. Mind you, this is the girl we saw much earlier basically say, yeah, not interested, back off. Only to basically kind of be, she says she turned him down, but it doesn't matter. If he's that big of a sociopathic douchebag, you shouldn't associate with him at all. And yet, there you were. So you know what? Lee, despite not communicating very well at first with her, is completely justified in being pissed off with her. And then her dad gets hurt in a hospital. Lee, I like the fact they gave Lee PTSD from an incident that happened with his brother, but the fact that she gets pissed off with him for that and it doesn't get explained. He never explains to her. We assume he does off screen after he apologizes. I'm like, she needs to be understood about why he did that. Her dad's not mad about it, so she shouldn't be. Maybe a little upset, but at the end of the day, she needs to know why it happened so she can either forgive him or at least understand where he was coming from. So that's not good story writing. And then, I said it before out of the theater, but I'll say it again. One of my least favorite tropes in movies is the parental figure who bars you from doing something because something bad happened in the past, but you don't have either the full context of it, or you've completely just used your hurt emotions and just compartmentalized it and saying, this is bad, stop it. I love Ming-Na Wen, and she's fine in the movie, but the character choice of saying, no fighting, Lee, no fighting, ever, because of what happened to your brother. And when you learn what happened to her brother, that fighting contributed only because the guy who ended up doing something bad, Okay, his brother's dead. I think we all assume that. The guy who ended up killing his brother was just a self-centered, like, asshole, like just a complete another angry douchebag, and it just resulted in a death. That had nothing to do really with fighting. That had to do with a guy who shouldn't have been fighting, and then he went out and tried to kill a kid. But she just completely was like, no, fighting's bad. No more fighting. Okay, it's extreme, whatever. But it's like, you don't even get to train. And even Mr. Han's like, he's not fighting, he's training, and martial arts can be good for, like, focusing and all that, which is true. You don't need to fight. And she's like, no fighting. Like, back up. If he's got emotion, if he needs to vent his emotions in a healthy way, martial arts is a healthy way to do that. Like, sure, don't fight, but training's fine. You don't want to get rusty on that shit. It's self-defense. And by the way on that, he literally gets sucker punched at one point, and she just looks at him and says, what did I tell you about fighting? He literally got sucker punched. What, did he not explain that to her? Is this one of those characters who wouldn't hear it regardless? What? And then she kind of blames him. Like, she said, I told you no fighting, and I was training him. He wasn't fighting! Like, yeah, it's involved fighting, but he was teaching someone, and the only reason he got hurt is because someone decided to be a shitty individual and break the rules of engagement. That's all that happened over there. It's not like that happens every day. What's Ming-Na Wei's character's name? Ming-Na Wei. They don't even list the character on IMDb for it. Mom. It's not like that happens every freaking day, Mom. Like, I would want to say I would chalk it up maybe to the culture, but I know for a fact I've seen plenty of other cultures do this. Not just Asian culture. I've seen Indian culture do this, white culture do this, black culture do this, Hispanic culture do this. I've seen every culture do this trope, and I hate this trope. Like, I seriously, because it's not, I mean, it's a realistic trope is the problem. I think that's one of the reasons I dislike it so much is, like, there are people who have the blinders on and can't see the full picture. And they're just like, no, this happened. Bad. Don't do that. It's the same reason I have an issue with the grandmother in frickin' Coco. Like, I can't stand that woman. Couldn't stand that woman. Or, don't get me wrong, she's not an evil person. And that's the problem, too. I can't stand you, but you're not evil. It's like, I don't openly hate you. I hate what you're doing. Like that scene in Coco where she breaks the guitar and just is like, there, no music. Oh, you would be happy there. F you. F you. I want that to be a thumbnail. And then people be like, did he hate this movie? But yeah, F you to that moment. F you. Or Mama Imelda from Encanto. Not as bad, not as egregious, but she's so locked in and she just starts blaming Maribel for basically what's kind of her fault. That she's so laser focused on not losing what they gained that she can't see what's right in front of her. So, and then unfortunately, what's worse is they don't even make her do her like flip to that, like to understanding his point of view. Well, there's like one like cut with her and Jackie talking about it, and that's it. Like that's it. And that's another thing. The editing in this movie is weird at points. A lot of the times it's flowing well, but then it just jumps to a scene like the previous scene hadn't fully ended, and just cuts to a different scene, and then it adds the soundtrack on here. And I'm gonna be honest, the soundtrack not the best. This music doesn't fit very well with this movie. So, despite all the problems I have with the movie, which are quite a few, I think there is still enough good that I like the movie enough, and would probably watch it again. Then wouldn't go to the theater again to see it, but for like a movie night at the house or something like that, I'd sit down and watch it. I could enjoy it. Look, that's my thoughts, though. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you folks for the next one.